Hello everyone, my name is Skinnyelbowz, and today I'm going to teach you how to drink water. Now it's a very sophisticated process, so make sure you're paying attention at home. All you have to do is first grab your cup of water, and then I think I missed a step. Ah yes, tutorials. The only thing that can teach you how to do the most complicated of tasks. But in all seriousness, tutorials in video games have been a thing since its inception. Whether it be in the form of an instruction booklet inside the game case, or presented in the game itself. Tutorials are a vital part of any video game experience. But tutorials don't just have to be text on screen. They could be levels in the game or other interactive game segments as well. So today we're going to look at all different types of tutorials in games to figure out which ones are superior. What in the world? The first set of tutorials we're going to talk about today are, in my opinion, the worst of the bunch. I don't think these have a specific name, so I'll just call them the ones that appear on screen as the enemies try to f*** you. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but that's how it feels. These tutorials feel really intrusive to the gameplay experience. You'll be ready to get into a fight, and then a big body of text just shows up. So now you have to try to read and dodge 20 enemies trying to end your existence. These tutorials tend to make me mad because I feel like I miss vital information and end up never using that move or skill. It's really a double-edged sword. If you sit there and read, you die. But if you ignore it, you miss a lot of important information. I feel like tutorials should be easy to read and not be put in stressful environments. It should be as easy as walking! Don't patronize me, man. But overall, these suck. Big doo-doo. Moving on. Yeah, this looks about right. The next set of tutorials we'll be talking about are preview tutorials. These tutorials usually have text explaining what you need to do, while also having visual representation of said thing that you need to do. And me as a visual learner, I find these very helpful, because sometimes just reading something is kind of hard for me to comprehend. So having that visual aid does really help me. And also, it's helpful too because you get to learn some of the visual cues so you can perform the task better. Now, I'm not saying these tutorials are perfect because they definitely do have their flaws. A lot of the time the text or video is too small to look at or read. It could be a nightmare. I feel like both should be easy enough to comprehend. Hell, if I want to have trouble seeing, you just take out my contacts and start walking around like that.
What does this say?
Ball sack! Did I do it?
No, you didn't!
I really just can't catch a break today. Anyway, on to the next one. Oh. On to the next one. Proceeding on, we have the most notable and recognizable form of tutorials, text-based tutorials. Now, these have been a part of games as long as they've been a thing. The first instance of tutorials was in the form of instruction books inside the game case, back before you could just download all of your games directly on your console.
Yeah, remember these things? Pretty ancient, right?
But this wasn't the only thing in the instruction booklet. These bad boys had all types of lore in them, along with shortcuts and cheats to do in the game. One of my favorite parts about getting a new game was actually reading the instruction booklet. They always had this really fun and cool charm about them that always caught my eye. But once games could start holding more data, slowly but surely we saw these booklets get smaller and smaller, until now they don't even exist anymore. But that's another topic for another day. We're here to talk about tutorials! So what do I think about text-based tutorials? I mean, they're fine. They tell you the information in a simple way, and in a way that is inherently intrusive. But, as stated before, I'd rather have the game stop entirely to teach me something than to be brutally attacked by a bunch of enemies while the game is trying to teach me something. Also, considering these are the most widely used form of tutorials, it's for a reason. And, again, they're completely fine. It's nothing special. I do, however, have one gripe with these tutorials, and it's when the text is absurdly long for no reason. Like, I'm here to play a game, not to read a whole damn essay. The worst part is, these long-ass tutorials are always in RPGs. Like, why the do I need a tutorial for the menu screen? Isn't good game design supposed to make these easy for the player to understand and not be super confusing to the point where you need a whole essay explaining it? I know I'm going on a big tangent here, but I really just don't care for RPG that much. But I digress. These tutorials are fine. Moving on. The last set of tutorials I'll talk about today are tutorial levels. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I obviously mean the very first levels of games, like 1-1 from the original Super Mario Bros., Green Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog, and many more. But we'll talk about these two specifically because they are the ones I'm most familiar with. 1-1 is a near perfect tutorial level to show how Super Mario Bros. Works down to movement, what is and isn't an enemy, the physics, and also introducing every single power-up you'll see in the game. Granted, there are only 3, the Mushroom, Fire Flower, and Star, but I still feel like it's pretty cool that all of them are here in this level. Oh, I forgot to mention the 1-Up Mushroom is also in this level too. And there are so many videos breaking down this level, and I don't really want to repeat what has already been said. And I also just don't have the patience to talk about every single moving part in this level. So if you're interested, just check it out for yourself. Now, we get to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog! And just a fair warning, this is not the last time you're going to hear about this blue on this channel. But Green Hill Zone really shows what Sonic is supposed to be all about. Going fast. This level teaches you how to build momentum, roll, defeat enemies, and a reward system depending on how good you are at the game. The better you are at the game, you'll be able to go on the higher paths, which gives you more opportunities to go fast. The worse you are, you'll be stuck at the bottom paths, where there are more enemies and platforming segments. And all of this is explained to the player without a single line of text. Well, unless you count the text telling you what the level is called. That's besides the point, okay? Overall, Green Hill is a very good introduction to the physics of Sonic, and what the main gimmick of the game is supposed to be. It's no wonder why it's the most iconic level in the franchise, and why they keep bringing it back. Overall, I think these tutorials are great. It teaches you everything you need to know about the game without even having to communicate it with you through text. Now, I do understand why this form of tutorials have kind of vanished, because the games have gotten a lot more complex, especially as of recent. But these tutorials could still kind of be seen today, just to a lesser degree. You're still playing the game, but the game is telling you what buttons to press. But in my opinion, that's not too bad, especially considering it is basically the same exact thing as before, just with text. Well, there you have it. That's every single video game tutorial there is. And if you say I missed one, I genuinely don't care. At the end of the day, video games need tutorials in order to communicate to the player what they're supposed to do. Even if it does get kind of redundant having every single game tell you that the left stick is how you walk.
Guys, I finally figured it out! Ah!
Without tutorials, most players would just be lost. And hey, everyone learns things in different ways, so it makes sense why there's so many different types of tutorials. And hey, it's kind of pretty cool too, and makes a lot of sense. But that's all I had.
You forgot about me?
Wait, dude, you've been chasing me all day. Why are you even here?
You know what you did, asshole. Now it's time to pay the price. You think a measly bullet is gonna do? Guess it wasn't stupid just buying one bullet. Huh.
We're never gonna talk about this, by the way.